Good morning. It's day 4 and having a good time. Yesterday was over 7 miles, I think, maybe 8. And it was a pretty easy day. Didn't have too much in terms of climbs and descents. Rolled into camp at like 4:30. Yeah, it was a nice time, and it was kind of more of a chill, quieter group, and that was just the thing because, yeah, I basically wanted to get dinner going, eat that, and get settled in, and I think I laid down at 7 p.m. and not that I went to sleep right away, but I woke up at 7 a.m. Started breaking down my tent, and I was out of there by 7:40. So I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to get that cranked out and get on the trail. I kind of want to get into Neel Gap rather early. I don't know where that would put me. I have to go over Blood Mountain today. But just to give you an idea, I think it's a 7-mile day today too, maybe 8. But I have to go over Blood Mountain, and which actually reminds me that I'll have a story to tell at what's called Slaughter Creek, and that's right before Blood Mountain. I'm going after it. Actually, those the 4 people that were at camp, they were talking about taking this trail that actually skirts Blood Mountain. So I want to experience that. That's kind of why I'm out here. I want to experience, stuff that's difficult too. So I'm going to do that. Not that this hasn't been difficult already, but I do have a lighter pack today with a lot less food. And so I'm thinking Blood Mountain is doable for sure. It's over 1,000-foot climb, I believe. I think it's from like around 3,000 to 4,400 feet. So I will also mention it's good to get out early, but on the negative side of that, I'm catching all the webs. All the spider webs I'm catching. So I'm kind of doing this with my trekking poles whenever I suspect there's one, but most of the time it's too late. So I'm going to have these lovely locks of webs draping off my head over time here. Quick beard check. Day 4, that's what is happening. I was clean shaven when the trail started, when I started the trail rather. So I wanted to tell you the story of many years ago. It was my wife and I decided to do a day hike from Neel Gap back to Vogel State Park, and that's where we had a cabin in Vogel with some other family. And so it was about 7 miles of a day hike. So it was going to be, a pretty good little challenge. My wife is actually pregnant at the time, just a couple months. So we're gonna, if you know the terrain here, that means you climb up Blood Mountain first, you descend down to like Slaughter Gap, is how I remember it, and then you make a turn onto a Vogel trail, or a trail that takes you back to Vogel State Park. So that would have been 7 miles. Well, at Slaughter, and by the way, this was one of our first, big hikes. So the father-in-law goes, "Hey, take this big knife. You got to take this." I'm like, I remember shrugging my shoulders, kind of going, "I don't think I need that." He's like, no, you take it. So I did. It's probably 10-inch knife. Strapped it to my hip, and off we go. Well, sure enough, we get lost, and we took a wrong turn at Slaughter Gap. we hit this trail going towards Suchess, which is Lake Winfield Scott camping area. You know, so we were probably three or 4 miles out, you know, lost when we realized this isn't it. But we said, well, we do see signs that talk about, you know, a recreation area. So let's just find some help there, maybe a phone even, because this is before cell phones were popular and everybody had them. So we did. We actually found somebody to hitch with. Hopped in the back of his truck. He was a fisherman at that Lake Winfield Scott. Hitched over to Suchess, and there was like a mom and pop store. They were nice. We were like, hey, can we use your phone? We need to call family to come pick us up. I said, well, okay. When you call Vogel, you just call the ranger station at Vogel, and they get word to the family. So we didn't get to talk to family directly. So the funny thing is I have this dagger on my hip asking for a hitch. Fortunately, that guy, you know, was good enough to give us that hitch. And then we're sitting there asking for help from the mom and pop store. And the funny thing is, there were people that were kind of poking their heads out from behind the corners, like kind of scoping us out. So we'd look and like, whoa, what was that? And it was just kind of a funny scene, all while having this dagger on my hip. Well, I didn't get word back from the family. So the daughter of the shop owner said, hey, I'm going down the mountain into town to go to work. So we're like, okay, yeah, sure. So we're hopping in this car with this dagger on my hip still, and they're all good with it. And you know, and she flew down that mountain too. Couldn't believe how fast we were going. My wife was getting sick because of it. And it was one of those retired cop cars that, you know, the doors are shut and locked in the back where you can't get out. So it was kind of this weird scene, but we made it back to Vogel thanks to all those people that helped us. But I was hoping to see that spot again and kind of, you know, say, there it was. There was the turn I should have made. But apparently it's not there anymore. Anyway, on I go. And this, my friends, is the top of Blood Mountain. It's over 4,400 feet in elevation. This is, I hear, the first shelter they built on the AT, the Blood Mountain shelter. My friend Art says it leaks, like in the corners. So, wow, what a great day for this. Last time my wife and I were on Blood Mountain was, you know, way back when we got lost, and it was pretty cloudy. I hear cars. Can only mean one thing. That's Neel Gap. So good to see civilization. And if you want to keep hiking, you hike through the building this way. So I'm really liking the Blood Mountain Cabins situation. Good setup, satellite TV, everything you need in a home. Kitchen area, dining area, bathroom with shower, little closet, and bedroom downstairs. The place seems, clean. It's got an upstairs loft, and there's a nice deck out back. Rocking chairs, patio chairs, grill, covered section, and a nice view. Hello, end of day 4. I'm at my cabin at Blood Mountain Cabins in Neel Gap. Really excited about the cabin. It's been a great place to kind of recharge and get some stuff done. So I just want to recap some food and some activities from today because it was kind of a banner day. A lot of excitement coming off the trail to a little bit of civilization recharge. So basically had oatmeal with the weight loss shake powder and dried cherries as I was leaving camp at Lance Creek campsite. So that's pretty typical. I'm gonna have that every morning. Mid-morning snack, climbing up Blood Mountain. Had a Cliff Bar, and funny thing is, I can't stand them anymore. It was the 3rd time having it, and on the first 2 times were fine. This 3rd time, I literally hate them now. I hate these Cliff Bars that I've enjoyed for years. The white chocolate macadamia nut. I don't think the flavor even matters at this point, but it just something about eating hiker food and stuff and huffing and puffing up mountains. It just tasted like chalk, even if I was guzzling water to chase it down, and it just was so bad. I got halfway through and I had to really try hard to get through the whole thing. So that was that. Got up Blood Mountain and didn't really have a snack up there. Just enjoyed the views. Got some video and photos so I can remember that and share some friends and family. But boogied on down. I think it was about 2.5 miles down Blood Mountain into Neel Gap. And as we were approaching, you can hear the cars. You can probably hear them behind me. You can hear the cars as you're approaching, and you just kind of get excited about, what people on the trail, are all talking about. I post most of my videos without other people in them because I don't want a camera and put a camera in people's faces all the time when they're out just trying to enjoy their hike. But around a lot of people, and I've gotten to know a few different groups, not really well, but enough to just enough to where we can have a little camaraderie as we're moving along and passing each other and what have you. But we were talking about these Red Baron pizzas, frozen pizza at Neel Gap, and how great that sounded to just have something cooked, and just with a soda. I mean, just to have a soda and a frozen pizza. I mean, it was one of the better meals I've had in all my life. So that was pretty cool to come on down there. Basically, you grab a frozen pizza out of the fridge and you give it to a guy. He takes it back and pops it in the oven. It's very low key, and he comes back out 10 minutes later and just calls your name, and you're just sitting out on the patio, with a bunch of other people milling around, eating and doing whatever. So, and I did, let's see. Oh, and then since then, no, let me back up. So I did resupply before leaving Mountain Crossing. That's where I had the pizza. And a lot of us were eating, a lot of people that, we got to know, because it was like the big thing, you know. Oh yeah, like early afternoon, we're all gonna roll on into Neel Gap. So it was cool to kind of visit, and some people were opening their boxes that they mailed themselves and said, "Oh crap, this is too much stuff." So it was just kind of neat to have pizzas. We all had like our own pizza pretty much. I had everything. I just had scraps left, but basically ate the whole thing. Since then, checked into my cabin. That was cool. Gave them my laundry, everything except for stuff like rain gear and like warmer weather clothes, and that's what I'm wearing. I'm actually wearing this stuff that I didn't wear on the trail, so that they can do the laundry that's, you know, kind of smelly and gross. So that was nice for them to do laundry for me, and then just to have a couch and, you know, a proper shower and, you know, bathroom and all that stuff. I'm gonna have a queen size bed, cabin all to myself. It's been really rejuvenating already. So by the morning, I'm sure I'll be in really good shape. And so what I did for food so far tonight, and it's like 8 p.m. is they just have frozen stuff here, but they have frozen Angus cheeseburgers. Popped it in the microwave, and it was really good actually. Had that, bag of chips, another soda. So really good dinner. I have another cheeseburger for a morning breakfast. I'm gonna have probably a little granola bar type thing, and Welch's grape juice, and maybe some water too. So that'll get me going pretty well. But yeah, so that's basically the food I had today. I don't even think I had a Snickers bar, but when I was at Mountain Crossings, I did resupply. What's really nice is now that I understand my nutrition needs, I was able to buy less really. So I should be carrying probably a couple pounds less food, which is really nice, than I was when I started the trail. So then and the other thing is, I had some things like the dried fruits. I had like 8 days worth of that, and like 8 days worth of trail mix. So I've eaten that stuff down 50%, or close to it. So I had considerably more weight than I will when I start this next half of my journey. So yeah, so it's pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about stuff, and just wanted to give you this update. Tomorrow I'm looking at 11 miles, and after a nice rest like I would expect tonight, I see no problem with 11, and then we'll take it from there.